whatever your energy is feeling, you can translate that into your dancing. You can translate that as you're twerking. Like if you're wanting to activate being more sensual, it's there, you know. If you're feeling angry, that's there as well. Like you can transform it however you need to like help you with whatever you're going through.
I'm Mira Aduda, and this is Into Healing, Austin Edition. On this episode of Into Healing, Michaela reveals how sensual movement reconnects us to ancestral wisdom and can ignite deep healing. She shows us how twerking and womb work aren't just movement, they're acts of remembering and liberation. How embracing joy and pleasure in our bodies can be a revolutionary act of coming home to ourselves. If you support our mission of giving everyone a way into healing, please consider becoming a paying member through our Patreon. Your generosity will help bring more meaningful conversations to the world. Hi, Michaela. So I have to tell a story of how a friend of mine took me to your class.
Please do.
And she said, I found this thing. Do you want to come with me? And I said, oh my God, this looks like exactly what I need right now. But I really had no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
So we signed up. We got to this class, and I swear, I feel like for an hour and a half or however long the class, 2 hours maybe.
An hour and a half.
I literally was like laughing the entire time because I was like, the class is called Twerk and Heal. And literally, I'm like trying to figure out if I'm doing this whole twerking thing right. And I'm laughing so hard because I'm just like, I don't know if it looks good. It feels good though, but I'm like, I have no idea how I look like. And the whole time, all I could think of is, you know, I work out, but the workouts I do are just like, go in there, get it done, move, feel strong in my body, move on. But I feel like when I got to this class, there was such joy, like just the people that were in the room, it was like women and non-binary people in this room. And it was like the body diversity, everybody kind of just, there's just so much pleasure. You can feel the pleasure that was being felt in this room.
Like tearing up.
No, but you can
I
feel
feel like I wasn't there.
You can feel the pleasure. And I feel we are just so, those moments of pleasure and joy, we just don't have enough of them. And I feel, I've been feeling the weight of the world recently, and just this class, like, got me to feel joy and pleasure in a way that I hadn't in a while. And it was just so powerful. Yeah. So I was just so excited when you said you'd come and talk about this, because I think there's just so many layers to this practice that I don't think maybe people know about or people really realize.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Come over here. We're only 2 minutes in and I'm crying.
You know, here's what it is. I think because it accesses something deeply, deep in your bones, and deeply, what I felt, deeply ancestral too.
For sure.
Like something you can't, this was one of my first questions where I want to start is, there's something that the body remembers that the mind forgets.
Absolutely.
So my first question to you is, you teach this very ancient, sensual, unapologetic practice. Where does this movement practice come from?
Yeah, it is called Puka. It is from Africa. It was about it's a fertility dance used with your butt and legs. And people just dance. And it was just a fertility dance. And used with beauty, it was all about the divine feminine, which is so it's like a full circle moment, but it was solely about the divine feminine, to sum it up.
What has it taught you? What have you remembered through it?
It unlocked a lot. So I had a lot of my sexual energy wasn't directed in a healthy way younger, right? I was molested when I was younger. And it was by somebody that like I considered I trusted. And so my relationship with men after that was kind of just that, because I thought that's how the relationships were supposed to go. And so it was very like I was just doing things just because. And with twerking, especially when I got into the womb healing part of it, it really helped me be more of who I am, not be so performative sexually. And I mean that just like exuding like pleasure, like drinking tea or anything. Like I was seeing how it was incorporated in like daily life practices, daily life movements, daily life thoughts, and there was like less shame. It was more real liberation instead of like the false liberation that we think that we get once we become sexually liberated. So yeah, it just really helps me discover who I was in all stages of my life. Yeah, it's been a really beautiful journey. And when I twerk more, I'm more creative, and I'm more open and fun and not so, you know? And especially doing it with like other people that love doing it too, or don't even know what they're doing, but they're still having fun. Like I remember being in 4th grade, 5th grade, having little sleepovers. My mom was asleep in the back, and we're in the front watching New Orleans bounce videos, trying to dance. Like it was just fun, and that's what it takes me back to, like the community of like women and non-binary people or whatever. Like people just wanting to come and express their feminine energy is just so fun to me.
I love that. How is twerking directly related to the womb work that you do?
Well, so if it is a fertility dance, right, and the fertility comes from the womb, right, and not just about fertility with creating children. It's not just about that. It's about creating in general.
Anything, any projects you have, or anything you want to bring.
Any project babies, any real babies. Like it's that's what one of the main things is about, the divine feminine, right? It's about creating and nurturing, not being a woman, but just the divine feminine, right? So, and men can also have access to the divine feminine. Or non-binary people, or any person has the divine feminine inside of them, whether they choose to access it or not. But so having this divine feminine energy is about creating, nurturing. That is what the fertility dance does, right? It kind of exudes that energy. It exudes the creativeness, the fertility, the nurturing, and you can pour that back into yourself. Nurturing of yourself, creating things for yourself, creating the life that you want. You know, it just ends up rippling down to all the things that we need in our life and we're doing in our lives, and yeah.
So a lot of this work, you just kind of mentioned it, you know, twerking allowed you to really get into womb work. How did that start for you, the womb work? Did something kind of trigger it or activate it for you to kind of go deeper into the womb and really kind of get in there? And
Yeah. So I had my first daughter, Luminous, during 2020, and which was COVID. It was like she was like born in me, which was like when we were really like, oh, this is not going to be a 2-week thing, you know? And to be honest, I never really wanted to be a mom. I was always scared of it. I thought I would be a bad mom. So that wasn't my thing at first. Now she's great. I love being a mom now. But it was really, if I felt like a part of me was stripped away, and they don't talk to you about when you become a mom, like how you also are rebirthed, how you're also going to be a different person, how there's parts of you that you don't. I feel like it's like everybody's like, oh, you're gonna be just this mom, but they don't tell you that you're gonna like strip away parts of you, and that part of you that's dying is hard to say bye to, you know. And then if you don't know that's what's happening, it makes it harder. So that's what I was going through, and I was just really depressed. I was going through postpartum, and I don't know who suggested the Sacred Woman book by Queen Afua. I don't know who suggested that.
She's been on my wish list actually to bring on to
You're
the
gonna
show.
get her. She's amazing. I think I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about it. I don't even know how I found that podcast. But anyways, I was like, let's see. So I got her book and I just started doing the stuff that she suggested in the books. And it wasn't like anything crazy. Like, you didn't have to sit there and stare at the sun for 7 hours and go on this vacation and this retreat. And you didn't have to do any of that. It was just journaling. It was hard because I'm not a morning person. I'm not a morning person, but you had to wake up before sunrise. And you journal, you meditate, you drink juices in the morning, you eat healthy. It was just like a lifestyle change thing, but it was very intentional. And through that, I started dancing again because I stopped dancing at that time. I was in COVID. I was just in a little apartment with my partner at the time and Luminous, and I didn't have any help. Like, my family lives in Houston, so it was a lot. And I got into the book. I started dancing again. I started moving. And then that book just took me off. And I was able to like receive like downloads from my ancestors that helped me like figure out even what my womb was, you know? Like, I've been twerking forever, but I didn't really connect why it made me feel good. I just knew that I liked it. And I would get really upset on why, when people would talk about women and twerking, or like, oh, y'all need to get a real woman who don't twerk. And like, and because this was like the fad era, like 2017 and stuff like that. So once twerking became a fad, people started becoming very mainstream. And so people had a lot of opinions about it. And I would just get so upset, but I couldn't articulate why it was good for you. I just like, you just don't get it. But now whenever like I was able to connect with my ancestors, and I was able to like connect with the community because I had like a sister circle that we were doing the book together, and I was able to connect deeper with community. And it was just like a lot of those things came up, and connecting with my womb and writing about my experiences and the people I slept with and all these journal prompts. And it was just a lot. And it was so beautiful. And like now I can like feel like when you asked me when I saw this thing, my vagina started like it started dancing a little bit. I said, yes, I'm gonna do it. So yeah, I just feel more connected. But that book, I think, really helped start the wisdom of womb healing, and then my experiences with teaching twerk classes helped tie it together for me. So it was just it was a big serendipity moment for me.
So what do you think are the teachings that you've learned from kind of reconnecting to the womb?
Teachings like
lessons that, you said you reconnected with your ancestors, and just like things that you have learned through this work. What have you learned? What have your ancestors, how has that been?
Really, I'm very hard on myself. I'm very hard on myself, and it was about being present. Presence is a big thing. How powerful, how the womb is a whole mind and a whole body in itself. That it holds everything. How you were saying your body remembers, but your mind may forget. Your womb holds all the power. So that's why it's important for us to do these dances so that we can shake these things out of us. So even if we don't know why we're crying, or we don't know why we're upset at the moment, or we're feeling these feelings as we're dancing, or before or after we dance, or after we meditate, or after we do our baths, or after we drink our juices, we can like, it doesn't matter why, it just matters that there's release. So yeah, just a
So
lot
what are
of
we
release.
releasing? What's in the womb that we need to release?
So there is ancestral. There can be ancestral trauma, generational trauma, like the generational curses stuff. But you could be holding on from things from your mother, from your mother's mother, from your mother's mother's mother. Like it just can keep going down, especially if things have not been healed. So when we heal things for ourselves, we heal generations behind us and we heal generations before us, because time is secular. So it's not linear. It's we heal it all, because that's where the cycles come in, because it just keeps going and going, and it has no stop, no start or ending. So once we heal something, it's the same thing. It goes in that same circle. So yeah, and then it can also be your own trauma that you experiences. It could be sexual trauma. It could be birth. You could have had a traumatic birth. It could have been something just very like small that just made you uncomfortable, and now you don't know why you do certain things, or you don't know why you act a little way. Like something could make you feel cringy, or you're not as like fully yourself because you're scared of something. Like it could be something super, super small that's created this like new path for you, or you walked a certain way now after that one experience. So it's just bringing awareness. And the healing journey, you're never really healed, you know? You're just doing steps to make your life easier. You have these tools now that when things get harder, you're able to move through life without
Holding on to all the things
exactly,
that keep us
and
down.
keeping it in your shell. You have community, you have yourself, you have your tools, you have your ancestors. So yeah, it could be so many different things, so many small things that turn into big things. So
You've said that twerking as a practice is sacred, and it engages like all your senses. It really awakens your body. So how does this practice like taste like, feel like? Like what is it doing in your body when you're actually moving in this very like sensual way? Sensual way, like kind of you brought it up at the beginning, not in a performative way, not for someone, in a sensual way for yourself, almost to like reawaken things. So what does it feel like? What does it taste like? What is it like? Describe it to us, right? Because it's really hard. Like I went to the class, so I like know how that felt like. But how do we share it with people? How do we share like the experience of it?
okay, so I think there's so many different ways to twerk, right? We could just do little hip movements that feel more sensual and slow, and you can feel all your muscles activating. Like when you go slow, it's really harder than going fast. because which one did you come to? Do you remember?
I don't remember what number it was. It was in a series. It was a series of 4 maybe, and we went to number 2. I know that I could barely walk like for
Was
4
it
days
dance
afterwards.
hall,
I was
or
like,
I don't know, but
yeah.
yeah, I know.
But I was like, wow, like I feel muscles activate that I have not felt in a long time.
For sure. Yeah, especially the lower back, everything. But so there's different like ways, right? So you can go very slow. And that's my favorite. I like to go slow. It makes me present. You can just feel all your muscles activating. You can feel how arched your back is or unarched it is, and how more flexible you need to be. It helps with your like, you just start stretching more in like your groin area. It just feels, and like if you're very intentional, because I feel like once you start twerking, you're kind of more worried about like, do I look good?
Yeah, like you're in the head.
Am I doing this right?
Yeah.
But once you get past that and you just start focusing on your body and like, what do you want to like get out of this, or what do you want to feel like after this, or like, is there something intentional that I'm trying to shake out? Is there something intentional that like, how do I want to move? What am I shaking out? What am I popping out? And so when you focus on that, right? When you focus on that, you can literally feel like, I like to think of like little like energy just moving out. Like, and then at the beginning of the classes, I like to start with this womb activation where we go in circles and we have our eyes closed and we're rolling our hips and we go slow and then we start going fast and we're squeezing our pelvic area to like activate the yoni. And then we like open our legs and we shoot out red light and we go ha 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 and and it's actually a practice you can do in front of your partner, and it's it's silly, but it feels so good. But I like to like imagine the like light is coming out of my yoni as I'm dancing. So, and then also you can have like an angry twerk. Like, I don't know if you heard of crumping. Yeah. So like I'll like incorporate. So it was this one time I was meditating and I had woke up early. There was nobody else in the house and I was just so angry. I don't know why I was mad. I was just really mad. So I put on this Kendrick Lamar song. I don't know. I was like, "Are you happy for me?" But then I was like, I was starting to crump and it's dark. It's dark in the house. Nobody's here. It's on my phone. I'm crumping and I'm twerking at the same time. But I was angry. So I just needed to get the energy out. And I needed to like have angry movements along with it. So like whatever your energy is feeling, you can translate that into your dancing. You can translate that as you're twerking. Like if you're wanting to activate being more sensual, it's there, you know. If you're feeling angry, that's there as well. Like you can transform it however you need to like help you with whatever you're going through.
So why is it so important to move that energy out of our bodies?
Because then it stays there. And then you're just going to be mad and bitter. And you have to move it out. And even like, I like twerking because it focuses a lot on the womb. So it's like, it's really like, that's where our creative energy is. That's where our compass is in life. Like that's where we hold a lot of like that sacred energy, you know, and like I like to call it the pussy breadcrumbs. Like you're following your little breadcrumbs to like to like help you like move to the next step in life, like your intuition, you know? So if you don't have your intuition, you don't have discernment. And then if you don't have discernment, you're making bad decisions or you're not making any decisions because not making a decision is also a decision, you know? So it's just like you have to, when you're intuitive, it's heightened. Your intuitive nature is heightened. You're heightened. So that's where we hold that's where we're intuitive at. So that's why it's important because when you have all of those blockages there, you can't listen. It's really hard and you can't decipher if it's you, if it's fear that's talking to you. Is it like, oh, am I not supposed to do this? Or are you just scared to not do it? But you can't tell the difference because you haven't cleared anything out. You haven't moved the energy out. So you can move energy by like running and walking and working out and whatever, but I like to focus on the womb because that's where, at least for me, that's who tells me what to do. You know, she can see things that I can't. Like she remembers things that I don't. So who better to talk to than this tree of life, you know?
Yeah, that's so interesting. It's so interesting connecting the womb to intuition, which is like such a powerful concept. I don't think we think about that very often, you know, how the womb holds so much, like you mentioned, compass. Like I like the idea of thinking like there's just so much wisdom there. And we're usually very cut off. Like a lot of people kind of move about life very cut off.
So much shame centered around it too.
Yes.
It's not our fault. I don't think like elders, we're our elders, you know, like who is there to help us? Like I remember my mom didn't want to talk about periods and like vagina. She would always be like, ew, ew. And like I would just be like, but I never understood. Like I was always passionate about vagina. Always. Like I could talk about it for hours, but it's just so much shame centered around everything, you know, or like hiding your pads or your tampons, like so nobody can see them. Like it's shame, or like talking about sex, but like why are we so scared to talk about these things? And
Well, because of judgment, because of, people shaming you, I think the more we connect with our wombs, the more we are powerful. And I think historically, you can go back a long, long time, cutting women or non-binary people from their power has been a thing, right?
yes,
And
yeah.
if we don't tap into that power, then because what's going to happen when we all tap into that power?
The world would heal. It would be actually really great for everybody. But they don't want to hear that. So
Yeah. So how do we like inspire more people to tap into the wisdom of the womb and to move their bodies in a way where they're moving it for themselves first and foremost, Like I loved in that class, for me, it's like nobody until we went one by one and we kind of did the thing where we were spotlighted, but throughout the whole class until that moment, we were just doing it for ourselves. Nobody, I was so preoccupied with what I was doing. I was not looking at anyone else. And there's just such power in just reconnecting to your body and to your womb and to the sensual. Like we are humans with senses. Right?
absolutely,
And we
yeah.
kind of go about life often completely disconnected from these senses,
Absolutely.
right? Whether that's tasting an amazing raspberry or it's, touch or all these senses that we have,
Absolutely.
sound, smell. I mean, I loved in your class too how when you started it, it was all about like essential oils and like activating the senses. So maybe you want to talk even about that, like how you even set the stage before you even start moving.
So did you go to the Valentine's Day one? I think that's what you went to. I think you did,
Maybe.
yeah.
Because it was rose petals too.
Yeah,
Yes.
I made it special.
But yeah, like tapping into the senses before you even start moving the body and how important that is to awake, almost like making us remember that we're sensual beings, right? And sensual beings, not sexual beings, but
There's a
sensual
difference,
beings.
yeah.
And there's a huge difference. And I think they often get like kind of
Confused,
and
yeah.
like talked about as one and the same.
Yeah.
So maybe talk about that. Like how do you set the stage and then how is sensuality very different than sexuality?
So actually, I only did that for that class, to be honest. I teach
Interesting.
a workshop called Twerk and Heal, and it's a 3-hour workshop, and I do focus more on the senses because it's also about slowing down, right? Being present. And in that class, or the workshop, and that's where I've went on tour with that workshop. I've been to like Alaska and Miami, New York, and New Orleans. I'm actually going to Alaska again this summer. Yeah. So, but like I start with like we do a candle exercise, and then I have give everybody blindfolds. And I make the oils that I had there, and we rub it on our bodies, and we eat fruit very slowly. Like for 15 minutes, I give everybody this small thing of raspberries, strawberries, and blueberries, and I have everybody eat it really slow. And I coach everybody through it, like, what do you want? What is your pleasure that you want to experience? Not being performative, but like, what do you want? How do you want to eat this? Like, are you even tasting it? Like, are you eating this fast? Like, there's no right or wrong way to do it, but like, notice what you're doing, And then we go into some breath work, and then we twerk at the end. But for my twerk classes, I like to start with the womb. I like to intuitively fill out the space. So I was like, okay, everybody's feeling loved. Everybody's in the love vibe right now. Let's do self-love. Everybody's always worried about, oh, I'm going to do this for my partner. Or when we learn something, we might, like, as we're learning it, we might be like, oh, I can't wait to show this person this, or oh, I'm going to look so good showing them this, or they would really like this, instead of being like, what is it that I like? What do I want? I haven't had time to rub oil on my body for 5 minutes. Like when I get out the shower, it's just,
Go.
do we have time to just like give ourselves the love that we want to receive or give to somebody else? So yeah, and then we do our womb activation. And then I like to teach some twerk moves to like, everybody's on a different level. So everybody needs to understand how to move. Or like what muscles they're moving. Because I really liked when you said earlier, like, I don't know if I look good, but I feel good. And that's the whole point. And I don't like to use mirrors a lot because I don't want somebody to get so caught up in what they look like. Like, I just want you to understand what you feel like. So that's the senses of feeling, and the smelling and the touching. Like, I really encourage everybody to touch their body when they're dancing because you can just really feel yourself. You can feel your pulse. You can feel your skin. Like, it slows you down. It keeps you present. Because I think that's where, like, a lot where we're missing the enjoyment at is just being present. Like, it's really hard for us to, like, sit here and just listen or look at the trees without thinking about what we have to do tomorrow or what we just did or, oh, this is on the schedule. I got to pay this bill. I got to do this thing. But whenever we're able to be present, that's when we get the pleasure. So
Yeah, the slowing down. It's like whether it's food or other stuff, that's when you really enjoy things.
And when I got into sensuality for real, it would be little things like, this tea is so good. Like, I feel like, do you taste it? And it made me think of like people who like are really big foodies and they can be like, there's a hint of nutmeg. I'm like, because they're like, their senses are heightened with like taste. Like they're taking their time and like letting all the flavors like swirl around in their mouth. And that's what we have to do with life. Like, take your time, let all the senses around you swirl around in your aura for the moment, And that's when you're able to like get in good situations and get out of bad situations and like, or walk into a space like, this isn't for me.
Yeah, this doesn't feel good.
Exactly. And knowing that you're not just anxious, like you are like, yeah, that's
Your body's
discernment.
your body's giving you signs, is telling you things, and you need to listen to it, Like there's a very real, visceral, like your body literally picks up on energy.
Yes, because we are just
We are
a ball of
energetic
energy,
yeah.
So that's like everything has energy. Everything is alive. So you can be able to feel these things if you allow yourself to understand that and feel what's around you.
Yeah.
And that's just it's like, that's why it's like twerking is like, yes, it's about like sensuality and pleasure, but it's also about awakening your womb to be able to experience these things.
Yeah, that's so interesting. It's almost like without the openness, you're just closed to that pleasure, right? Or to that joy. Like it could be here, but you can't access it. So we were just talking about how, you prep sometimes the room in a certain way, whether it's the essential oils or the lighting or, different things to kind of get in the mood of like tapping into that sensuality, right? For some people, that tapping into the senses and tapping into the body can be triggering, can feel unsafe, right?
For sure.
So how do we start going there if a lot of that like activation of the senses maybe feels uncomfortable, or maybe in our past or childhood or whatever, a lot of things were shut down, like whether it's showing emotion or being able to tap into all these different senses. Like, how do we start to reactivate that if we are not used to it?
Well, the only way to get past something is to get through something too. So, but with it's kind of like therapy, right? Or therapy. Like, you might have some things get brought up, but we're gonna work through it, So these movements and maybe being gentle with yourself, but not just being like, oh, be gentle with yourself. It's okay. Because it's like, what does that look like? How do I be gentle with myself if I've never been gentle with myself before? I don't know what that means. So it's like we actually give our body gentle touch. Let's give our body gentle movements. So if we don't know how to, let's say we get triggered by like a movement that happens, or your womb starts speaking to you and you start remembering certain things that have happened or that you suppressed down, then like, okay, let's cry it out and let's move as we're doing that so that we can move the energy out of us. Because if we just sit on it, then we start feeling sorry for ourselves, and then we start, kind of like coming back into that shell. So we can like move through it. Let's dance through it. Let's touch ourselves softly. Let's listen to soft music while we're doing this, Let's take a bath afterwards. Let's take a little spiritual bath. Let's put some herbs in something and wash away any of the energy. Like, it's so many tools that we have and that the earth wants us to use to like be able to be better and to like raise our vibrational spirit, So I think whatever it is that you need or that you've been seeking, you give that to you through movement, through touch, through words. I feel like it's the best way that there was a time I got out of the bath. This is when I was doing the book, but like a lot of things were coming to me. So like as I was doing the book, me and my partner at the time split. And me and Luminous we like got our own place. And I really dived into the book because I had my own house and I was able to like, okay, I'm going to take this time to heal because the breakup was hard. I have a 1-year-old. It was a lot. So I was waking up at 5 a.m. I had a very strict schedule. We were eating really, really good. And I was just, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So one time I was just sad. It was a lot of changes. I was sad. And like, I couldn't dance. I couldn't like move like sensually, or like I couldn't just roll my hips. I'm like,
yeah, I find grief like it creates some kind of barrier to being able to access that.
Yes, but you meet yourself where you are, and you don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to be a sensual being all the time. Like, that's not real. That morning after I finished my practices, I laid down on the floor like in this fetal fish position, and I was just like. I was moving, I was crying, and I was just moving my body like exactly like this, like a little sad puppy. But like, I didn't need anything else. I just needed to move a little bit, and I needed to just be. Like, there's no right or wrong way to move. There's no right or wrong way to heal, to like go through whatever you need, like your steps. But you just have to listen to your body. And at that time, I think I was like 3 weeks in. And I was just able to listen. Like, I would have probably been like, I have to like move my hips, but I was like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to, and that was enough,
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, that's also listening to your body, right? Honoring, like, if your body doesn't want to move right now, just let it be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's rest and resistance. So.
Yeah. So as women and non-binary people, I think we've been socialized to not put our pleasure first. I think we're very much like we are taught to be more in service to others or to put everybody else in front of us, whether it's our children or our partners or our parents or whatever. So how do we lean more into that pleasure? How do we bring more joy into our lives?
This is crazy because I really battle with this a lot. Like, being selfish and being nurturing and being all for the family and being like, oh, but I need my own time to myself. It's a hard balance. But there's little things you can do. You can, I know nobody wants to hear this because, it depends on your schedule. For me, to like get the time that I need for myself, I gotta wake up at 5.
Before anybody's awake.
Before anybody's awake, because my day is long, like.
Everybody wants something from you once everyone's up.
And when you think you have a second to yourself, mommy.
Yeah, and there's always something to do at home,
Absolutely.
Right? There's always something to do.
Something needs to be cleaned, or you have an email you need to send, or something you need to work on. And so I find the best time to myself in the morning. Or if you're a night owl, you could do it at night as well. But I think finding things that bring you joy. And how do we find those things that bring you joy? Just try something. Like, what have you always wanted to do? Did you always want to take a dance class, a pole class? Do you like nature and you don't do that often? Like, could you go take a morning walk by yourself, nobody else? Or like do a little walk and then like a longer walk with a family or something. Like, I think the pleasure starts, I think we think that we have to have these like
big things, right?
And it's like, do you like to drink tea? Like, do you want to take a bath? Do you want to do your hair? Like, rub your feet? Like, it could be stuff that you've just little small things that can like turn your energy around, turn your day around by like experiencing little and then being present. Because that's the thing too. If you have 10 minutes to do something, you're like, okay, I have 10 minutes before they wake up. That's not going to give you enough time to be present. Like, you got to wake up. You got to have a little bit more time so where you're not bothered. And I know it's like a luxury thing, but like, you got to make the time. And that's why, like, I haven't been a morning person ever in my life. But 5 a.m. is like, I'm either going to have a bad day if I don't have that time to myself, or I'm going to have a good day and I'm going to have to wake up early. So,
yeah, I never used to be a morning person until I had kids. And now, just because, I mean, that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
Now I do, like, if I can wake up before everyone, it's like magical time. You know, and sometimes I'm literally just sitting on the couch having a hot beverage, and it's just everything I need right then and there.
Sometimes it's just doing nothing. Like, doing nothing is the best thing that you could do for yourself. Because you're going to be doing stuff all day.
All day,
anyways.
yeah.
Are you going to have time to, like, sit there and rub your oil on your body for 10 minutes? No. The kid's going to want some of your oil. What are you doing in there?
Totally, I want to eat.
Yeah.
Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me?
Can we do this together? You know, so... yeah, and that's when you discover the best parts of yourself too. Is that time alone, that time to just do what it is that you like to, and then you can start like branching off and like, okay, I want somebody else to do this with me. Like, I'm in a sister circle right now, and like, just like, hey y'all, let's do this. Let's go here. Or I really love going on walks. We can go on walks. Like, you kind of figure out, and then you can bring community in, and then that's when you find your community that likes to do the same things you do, and y'all can be twerking together, and you know, I don't even know. It's like you start feeling like you're 10 again and like having little sleepovers or something like that.
I want to get into community because, you know, one of the things that I thought was so special about your class, other than just the laughter of trying to do all the moves, that was proving to be challenging for me, but extremely fun. I love the community aspect of it, and I didn't realize that was even something that I would really love, or, you know, I thought it was just a class where we would learn these different moves, but the community part and the, like, I remember at some point, especially when we were like spotlighted and each person had to do their thing,
The
you know,
empowerment circle. Yeah.
it was like the amount of cheering on from the rest of the people to whatever it was you were doing. I was like, this is amazing, because I'm sure this is not worth that much cheer, and I'm getting cheered on so much. You know, but it brought so much joy to, like, it didn't matter what you looked like. It didn't matter what you were even doing. Everybody was just like, wow, you know? Like, part of that was just so beautiful to me. And we're not in circles or communities where we get cheered on, you know?
Yeah.
Half the time, half the labor we do is like invisible, you know? So there's just something so magical about that. So maybe talk about community and how powerful that is. Like how powerful being witnessed is.
Yeah, I love community. I saw like my mom growing up. Well, like, I didn't see her growing up, but while I was growing up, how she was just there for everybody and how people were there for her, and how like the women in her family just always came through. Like, always was supportive. They needed help with us. They were there. She needed help with parties. They were there. Like, bad times, good times. Like, everybody just came through and supported each other and celebrated each other. And I just think that, and I didn't realize that honestly probably till like 2 years ago, how like impactful that has been on me. Because I try to be there for everybody who I love, and who, you know, like, anybody needs something from me, I try my hardest to do it, you know. And I think I learned that from my mom. But the cheering aspect, I think that we just like, I love words of affirmation. I love being told you're doing a great job. And so I want to give that to other people too. You know, like we don't get told enough, like, thank you for washing the dishes. Thank you for cleaning the house. Thank you for waking up, you know. Thank you for just being you. Thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Like, all of those things are so important because we could just give up any day, you know. So even just waking up breathing is like a big deal.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give the same love that I want to just give people, you know. So I make sure, and then like in the class, it's just like we just did this whole thing together. Like, you can't not be happy, you know. You can't not want to celebrate you and yourself. And it's kind of like that mirror, like we're mirrors to each other. And it's like me cheering you on is cheering myself on as well, you know. So it's just like I just want to see us all win and like healing and happy and joyous and moving through life in our purpose. And just, you know, so I think that's where that came from. And also I was a part of this thing called Twerk Scholars when I first moved out here, because I went to UT, and so that's when I came out to Austin. And that's when, so I've been like twerking like I said, like forever. But when I got here, this girl named Kamari, she was part of Twerk Scholars. She was like, hey, like, I see you like to twerk, da, 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 da. I'm graduating. Do you want to take over this? Like, you just teach twerk classes. And I was like, teach twerk classes? Like, I'm from a really small town. My graduating class was 100 people. Super small town. Everybody's just like doctors or nurses, or they work at the plant, or teachers, which is like all amazing jobs, but that's just all I knew. So when I came to Austin, I was like, oh my gosh, everybody's just doing what they like. I've never heard of these jobs, and like you see them, but it didn't click like, oh, you're a model. I just thought that was like another world, you know, like you had to be in another world to even have access to these things. So when I came here, I was like, twerk classes? You're teaching people how to twerk? I was like, this is real? And so we would do the empowerment circles there as well. And so I kind of just took that from there and just made them like bigger and like made them like very cheerful, like, and I make sure that I state, like, I need you. I want everybody to go in the middle. You don't have to, but I want everybody to go in the middle to celebrate everyone else and yourself. Because when do you say that you're proud of yourself too, you know? Because I know how hard I am on myself, so, and I understand that if I'm feeling some type of way, it's probably somebody else feeling some type of way like that. So I'm like, okay, we need to be a little lighter on ourselves.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I always say to my kids, you know, I have this sentence where I say, she blooms with praise. And it's like that's how we grow, and we really bloom into who we're supposed to be, is by praising each other, by, you know, appreciating each other. You know, it's so easy to forget to do that.
Yeah, and I think we live in this like individual society where it's not very centered around community and helping each other. It's very like, I get it out the mud, I did it myself, and you have to do this yourself. And to a degree, that's true. You know, nobody can do the work for you. So, yes, but there's a lot of people behind the scenes, or there's a lot of influences in your life that help you become who you are.
Totally.
That encourage you to continue being who you are.
Totally.
So, community is a really big deal. It's just like iron sharpens iron, you know, like.
Yeah, I always say, like, I wouldn't be able to do half the stuff that I do if it wasn't for a community. Like, I'm not doing everything on my own.
Yeah.
Like, none of it would happen. Just
you can't do anything on your own.
We think that we can, but it's sold to us that we can, but it's not really true.
No, it's just ego.
Yeah.
And then the ego will be the death of us. So, yeah, community is just like a really big deal for me. Being around like-minded people just make put my soul on fire. Just
Yeah, like it makes, I think there's an expansion that happens, you know?
Absolutely.
You feel like a very expansive being when you're around more like-minded people.
And it's an extension of yourself too, because
Yeah, for sure.
you go with your tribe, you know.
Yeah. One thing that I feel kind of that is very based in community is, and something that I saw very clearly in that class was that class felt like liberation to me. You know,
Yeah.
and it was like, I've been in a lot of circles that fight for liberation, but there's something about seeing liberation in the body that just felt so powerful. And maybe speak to the liberation piece, and how literally by tapping into this wisdom, by listening, by doing all this work, we're actually really freeing ourselves. We think we're free, but we're actually like not free at all, and how this work really liberates us.
Yeah. Yeah, liberation was a really hard concept for me to grasp when I first started just becoming a young adult. I thought that it looked a certain way. I thought that it meant a certain thing. So like, you hear, and it's no shame to anybody, but you hear about, oh, I can have sex with whoever I want to, which is true. But when you start to being, you abuse it, kind of, and it's kind of like, it's a false sense of liberation is how I feel. Because you're putting your body kind of in a more damaged state, because again, the womb remembers. So it was like a click that I had when somebody I was in a really bad relationship, and he just didn't respect me, and it came to me, and I was like, why am I giving you my body and you don't respect me? Like, it takes away the power of your womb, it takes away your power until you restore it. So it was just like all this false sense of liberation that I had, and like I thought I was being liberated because I was grown, and I was like, I can do whatever I want to do. But I have now all these like people in my womb, and then I have their people in my womb, and then their people's people in my womb. and then nobody's conscious of what's happening. So you're walking around what you thought were 20 people, but now it's 10,000 people, so it's just like, and that was a whole nother thing of like elders, like, where is the, because it was very like, no sex, no this, no that. You can't be twerking. Don't do this. But it was no reason why. And the twerking thing, I already told you how I felt about that. And obviously it's not true. But like everything else that we view as sexual, it was like, you can't dress like this. You can't do this. And like nobody explained to me the depth of why not. It was just don't. And I was just like, well, I'm going to do it because you told me not to. And that's where I thought the liberation was from. But that's not liberation, just rebelling. You rebel for a cause, right? So what is the cause that you're rebelling from? Because somebody told you not to do it? Or in the other sense, like women just need to be here to make babies, or women need to just be here to like have sex with their husband.
Or whatever.
Yes, like you're here to help. So, okay, I'm rebelling because I know that's not true. And I'm finding my liberation in that. I'm finding my voice and my power in the opposite end of that, because it's not true. There's so many matriarchs that, hold societies together and families together. And why are they doing that? Because it's power. We're powerful. So there's just a difference between the false liberation and the true liberation. And when you feel guilty, that's not liberation. When you feel shame, that's not liberation. You feel powerful being liberated. You feel like you know yourself. You own yourself. You make your own decisions to help yourself, And if the decisions didn't help, you own that, like that's real liberation.
Yeah, it feels like agency is such a big, part of liberation, having the agency, having self-determination,
Autonomy,
having
yes.
autonomy, all that stuff. It's not just about like being able to go out where you want to go out or see who you want to see or whatever. It feels much deeper than that. Like you can go out and do all those things and still feel completely not liberated in your body.
Yeah, and then you keep trying to do it more and more and more because you're trying to feel the liberation.
Or fill a gap or a void
Yeah.
or something that's missing instead of doing the work of reconnecting to who you really are, you know?
Yeah. Because it's just an exchange as well. Like, yeah, liberation was a really big thing, and it took me a while to understand that. But I got it, and and twerking, the womb healing, really, really, really helped with that, and it made me realize how much things that I allowed in my life, and you hear like when people like you manifest or you think you attract the things, the good or bad in your life, and it's kind of like an upsetting phrase, but it's true. When something bad happens to you at first, I don't believe that it's your fault, but once that's like more things start happening and they just keep happening, and you allow those energies to stay in your life, that's when it becomes your fault. Like if you're not, like if you're in a relationship or something and you keep forgiving this person that's proven themselves over and over and over again.
To not be a good person for you.
Yes, you've allowed that, and it's hard to hear, but it's true, So I realized how much I've allowed. I realized how much, and then once I allow things, my body is thinking that I deserve those things. So then I attract those things because that's what I'm looking for subconsciously. So with the womb work, it helped me to realize like, okay, no,
Yeah, how do we protect ourselves? How do we discern what's right for us and what isn't,
And it's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard. It's a lot of noise everywhere. And it's hard to do the work.
It is. Of course it is.
You're at a point where you're like, I'm tired of working.
It is hard. It is hard, but the other side is also hard.
Harder.
It's a different kind of hard.
Yeah, it's just like, pick your poison.
It is hard, but it's like, I think Gabor Mate says this a lot. He's like, there's the pain of not knowing, and there's the pain of knowing. But they're both pain. So like, just pick which one. Would you rather, go into yourself and your subconscious and all that stuff and figure out who you are and peel away the layers and reveal who you are in essence? And that's painful work. It's not easy work. But then also living unconsciously and having all this unconscious stuff run your life and help you make terrible decisions, is also quite painful.
It's really hard,
So it's like, which one do you choose? No, I'd rather choose the one that will like reveal who I'm here to be in this limited time I have here.
Absolutely. Now we're just going to repeat the cycle. We're gonna figure it out again.
Exactly. We repeat the cycle. We always do. We pass it down. If we don't break it, we pass it down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm a firm believer in that.
I want to touch on ancestors a little bit more. What do you feel you want them to feel when they see you practicing this like powerful
I want them to be like,
practice?
Yes, girl. I want them to be like, yes, get it. That's the move that I did too. Like, I just want them to feel proud. I want them to feel healed too. I want them, because I believe that ancestors are reborn. I really feel connected to my dad's mom. She passed away before I was born. Her name was Brenda Joyce. Every time I go to a family function, they're like, "Oh, I thought you were Brenda Joyce. I thought a ghost was here." And they're like, "You laugh like her. You're loud like her. You love to dance like her." Like, and I'm just like, I feel connected. And I got a reading done. Well, a Reiki session done by Ki Dada. Do you know who Ki is? Oh, you should.
Oh, yeah. Send me
I'm
her.
gonna send you her stuff. Yeah, she's amazing. But she was talking about my ancestors. And she's like, there was this woman that came to me, and she said, and I was like, oh, is it my grandma? She's like, what does she look like? I said, like me, but darker. And she's like, yep. I was like, she had a gold tooth. She was like, yep. She's like, she said that she's living through you. So like, you can't, your purpose is not just here for you. You're doing this for her too. So you need to keep going. Like you're healing her as well. So I believe that ancestors are reborn and they come down. So if I am healing and they're there seeing me and witnessing and helping me and guiding me, then they're also being healed by being just around the energy, right? So then that healing energy goes into them. So whenever they are reborn, they have another person that's already just a little bit more healed. You know, their spirit is a little bit more healed. Their purpose is a little bit more healed, you know? Yeah, I'm sorry I got sidetracked because I just love talking about it.
No, I love that. I love that. I mean, the ancestors, it's true. We're kind of, we're healing. When we heal, we're healing all the things that they couldn't, right? Like we have so much privilege being where we are, in the place we are, at the time we are, just that we're even able to talk about this work,
Absolutely,
right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, they didn't have tools. They didn't, they had certain circumstances that they
Absolutely.
lived through, and there's something really powerful about us kind of doing this work at this time on this planet at this point,
For sure.
with everything happening.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about collective healing, how this work kind of affects the collective, and how when more people kind of access the power of the womb and really learn to like be in their bodies,
Yeah.
and what happens.
As you're saying that, like my eyes are watering. I'm so sensitive. But it's a big deal. I was reading actually in the Sacred Woman book. It was talking about the state of the wombs of the world, like all the wombs that are occupying the world are the state of the earth. So if we are not healing our wombs, the earth is not being healed as well, and vice versa. So we have to heal for the earth, we have to heal because we're a reflection. We're all just mirrors. Everything is a mirror around us. How the wind moves, how the trees blow, how ants work together as a team. We're all mirrors, So we have to heal in order for other things to work as well. So it's a really, really big deal that we do the work, because when people are like, it's not about me, it's not just for me, that's like a way bigger statement than we could even know, and it's hard, and with life and all these things thrown at you, but those are the purpose of these tools that we have, so that we can just move along and try to find a little bit of joy as we're going through these hard times. So in my workshop, the Twerk and Heal workshop that I teach, we go through all this sensuality, and we're blindfolded for like really the whole time. It's the candle workshop. The candle exercise. But like we take time to like rub our body. Like I'm like, get in the crevices, like maybe touch with your fingertips, maybe touch with your nails. Do you want to be cracked? Do you want to be scratched? Do you want to be a little bit of, like massage some, like give yourself whatever you're looking for. So that takes a little bit of minute. And then we go into the breathwork portion. That's about like 45 minutes, and it's hard. Breathwork, it's hard. It's hard, and we use the hips as we're breathing to like move the energy and be very conscious of like what we're healing. So we'll go through the movements, and we're lifting up our hips some. And we're doing this for 45 minutes. And breathwork, you're out of breath, which is crazy. But while we're going through this hard time, I'm like, touch yourself. Touch your body. Give yourself some type of comfort during the hard times, just to be like a reflection of what's happening in life. Like, what tools did you just receive in order to make your life a little bit more pleasurable when things get hard. You know, if that's the waking up at 5 a.m., if that's taking walks, if that's twerking, you know, like whatever. I break out and twerk a lot. Like if I'm feeling upset, I go upstairs and I twerk for like 5 minutes and I come out like, okay. What did you say you needed? Like, so like using the tools that we have to like be able to move forward, because we can't stop, you know, even if we want to. We could take breaks. Breaks are different. If that breaks even looks like 5 years, that's okay, you know, but like our purpose is still going to be there. And there's still going to be a little voice there telling you what you need to do, telling you like your purpose still keeps coming back to you, and it's going to keep coming back to you and keep coming back to you. And you don't want it to be too late. So, but yeah, healing collectively is a big deal, and also doing it as a group together. Not even just like you're healing, I'm healing. And then like we find each other and then we make something better. And then it's kind of like a, what is it?
Ripple effect?
Yes. Yeah. I kept wanting to say triple effect. And I was like, that's not right. But it's a ripple effect. So yes, that, but like also together, like I really noticed it with my workshops. That was the first time I noticed them, which was like in 2022. I noticed it then. And I was like, wow. Like the energy in the room, how it just like, because it's intense. Like we're breathing. So we breathe in and then we go, and we let out all these moans as we're like, every time we take a deep breath, so that we move things out through our voice as well. Because are you using your voice? Are you allowing your voice to vibrate through your body? You know, like the voice is so powerful. So if we're not speaking up for ourselves, like these are exercises that allow us to say what we need to say when it needs to be said.
That's maybe what we need.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like, it's a big deal. So I make sure that, and then it's taking up space with your voice. Like not only are we taking up space with our bodies, but we're taking up space with our voice, which is beautiful. So it's like, I'm like, yell louder. And everybody's like, ah. Some people start crying. I'm like, get it out. But like, we're taking up space with our voice and and some people are just screaming or yelling or whatever the case may be. But then you start seeing how like one person starts really getting into it, that allows the other person to really
almost
get
gives
into
them
it.
permission, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like, then it
ripple
just
effect.
becomes, you can feel the energy. And when that energy is being there and it's led with intention and with purpose, it just initiates something in the room and it stays with that person, you know? So group healing, collective healing it's really powerful. Like, what is that saying? When two or more people, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know the rest, but I know it in my head.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Like two or
Just
more
the
people
power
have the
of
purpose.
it. Yeah.
It create, like it will be manifested. And that's kind of what's going on. So like,
And each one of those people is going to take it out into their life and do their own ripple.
and I've seen it, and it works. And not even just with my classes, but like things that I've attended and things that other people have put on. And it's like when you go in there with purpose and intention, it changes everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you for anybody watching or listening to this, if you were to kind of give one piece of advice or inspiration on how to start on this journey, if you've maybe never tapped into this power, how would you start?
Go in your room, close the door, put on a song that you like, and just dance. You don't even have to twerk. Just dance. Close your eyes. Blindfolds help. Closing your eyes. Just dance. Literally, that's all it takes for the first part. And then after that, you can start, you know, going into taking baths and journaling. Journaling really, really helps. I know we hear it a lot, but it helps a lot. Like, even if you're just saying nonsense all over the paper or writing or drawing something, like journaling helps a lot. I like to dance. I like to do my practice where I'll dance. for like 15 minutes. I could be standing up, sitting down, or I'll alternate in between. And then afterwards, I'll dance. Or in between, I'll dance. So if I'm moving and I'm dancing and something comes to me, I let it go. Once it leaves, I write it down. And then I
So
go
you
back.
you feel it leave.
I let it, and if it doesn't, I still try to dance, and then I'll write it down, and then I'll keep dancing once I feel like I'm done. If it's still there, I'll dance. I mean, I'll write it down, and I'll talk about it with myself. Like, why is this such a big deal for me? And then more things will just come, like, oh, I act like that because this happened, or that one time that my dad said that one thing that really stuck with me and I didn't like it. And it made me think of things differently, or made me look at myself differently, or whatever the case may be, or why don't I speak up for myself, or whatever it may be that's stuck in your head or in your body. You can like still process it through writing. But the movement, and then after you can move again, you can shake it out. And it doesn't have to be like, again, it's not performative. You don't want it to be performative. You don't want to.
You're not doing it for somebody. You're doing it for yourself.
And that
I
could
think
be
that's
really
a huge,
hard to like, even when you're by yourself.
because you usually don't give yourself permission to do stuff for yourself, right?
Exactly. Or how much time do you spend by yourself dancing, to where, like, sometimes, because I've heard this when people were like, yeah, when I was dancing, I wanted to like just let loose, but like this is the only time I'm dance, so I want to make sure I look good. Because when I show somebody, I'm looking like when I'm performing for somebody, or when I'm trying to dance for somebody, I want to make sure I look good. So it's like, so you're only dancing for somebody. Still, it's still not for you, you know. So like trying to really strip yourself of being performative, and it might take a while, and you might go back and forth with your head, like, oh, I'm still thinking about this person, or I'm still thinking about how I would look to other people. Like, what if somebody walked in right now? I don't want them to see me jumping around looking crazy, or like I'm trying to twerk and my butt's not even moving, like, you know, like like we have to like learn how to let go, and it's a process too. But like we've been performing our whole life, so like it's gonna take a while to not be performative.
Yeah, isn't that
It
true?
sucks.
Yeah, isn't that true that we're so used to performing? Like, that is so, like, showing up how different people want us to instead of how we really are. And there's just something so, like, there's a weight to that. You know, there's a weight to like feeling like you have to always be on, and you can't be your like real authentic self,
Yeah,
right?
even when you see somebody, like there's been times, and I do this, there's been times where I see somebody and I'm just not in a good mood. It's not that I'm not excited to see them. I'm just tired, or I had a long day, or I'm upset. You know, I just want to be quiet. Like when I'm not talking, I'm not talking. I'm quiet. So when I start talking, I can't stop talking. But I would like put on a face, like, oh, I don't want them to think that I don't like them, or I don't want them to think that I'm not excited to see them. You know, it's like even small things like that, like hi, those most highs. And sometimes they're really real, like I'm really excited, you know, but other times it's like, hi, you can tell, you can't even see it in my eyes. It's just like yeah.
You're
so,
like, I'd rather be somewhere completely different right now.
yeah, and it sucks. Like it's performative for your job, performative for your partner, maybe performative just in the world, walking around. Like, how do I need to be perceived to be respected? How do I need to be perceived to be taken seriously? You know?
Yeah, instead of how do I show up as like my authentic self, and then everybody figures out how to deal with me.
Yeah, or don't.
You know?
You know?
Or don't. Exactly. Like
you get chiseled away.
well, I'll find the people that do want to be around me.
Exactly.
You know, it comes from a very different place where you're kind of feeling so grounded and in your power.
And that's where all the anxiety comes from, depression comes from. It's a lot of like holding back yourself trying to figure out where you fit in this world, trying to figure out how you should show up in this world. It's a lot. And I just feel like, again, the only way to get past it is to get through it. So,
and through the body.
exactly.
Yeah. Through the body, because the body somehow has a really powerful way of stripping all the layers. Right?
Even you can tell, like, it's crazy. Like, we can be performative, but we're gonna, like, if people were really present and, like, we're able to see who people were, you'd be able to could tell immediately when somebody was not acting like themselves or acting just, like, calm or showing up authentically, you know, because body language is a real thing. Like, how are you nervous right now? You can tell when somebody is kind of closed in. So the body's going to tell it all anyways. So might as well let it out.
Thank you, Michaela. Is there anything that you feel we haven't covered that you feel called to share, or do you feel complete?
I feel I feel complete. My heart is full. My body feels like I've been on shrooms. I don't know how, but I'm here like this.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
for
much.
making
Can
the time.
I give you a hug?
Please.
Thank you.
I'm
I'm
definitely a hugger.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this conversation, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. You can connect with Into Healing on TikTok and Instagram for more inspirational and behind-the-scenes content, and visit our website, intohealing.com, for transcripts and other goodies. Thank you for joining us.